All right. Thank you for the warm introduction. All right. And good evening, fellow English teaching professionals across Kazakhstan. Really glad to see everybody here tonight. Again, we have another great webinar series within our English teacher development webinar series. I'm going to go ahead and start off, but tonight I do have three great co-speakers that will be joining me tonight and speaking after me, sharing about providing a variety of experience and ideas. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and let's go ahead and begin. All right. So everybody, we're back again, the second webinar within the series. To those that are joining us for the first time, welcome. We really appreciate that you're joining us. For those that were with us for the previous webinar, welcome back. For those that have joined in previous webinar series over the last couple of years, my other webinars that I have done through the American Corners, welcome. We appreciate your support and everything that you do as the outstanding, dedicated English teaching professionals that you are. So tonight, within our Bridge to Teaching Excellence English Teacher Development webinar series, our second session is focusing on teacher leadership, designing a dynamic English conversation club in Kazakhstan. Now, I gotta be honest that, there's a lot of preparation that goes into these webinars and these series, and a lot of the planning is done well in advance when it comes to scheduling and getting everything to work out just right. And often sometimes the topics, depending on the co-speakers that are joining me and the ideas that they're bringing and the wealth of experience that they bring, that sometimes I expand on the topic. So originally, yes, I was thinking about focusing on conversation clubs, but we're going to just open this up a lot more wider based on the collaborative experience of my co-speakers tonight and what they're going to bring to the table to share a little bit about teacher leadership and potentially other ways of having an impact or becoming active and being involved. Okay. And tonight with me joining is going to be Tula, Janat, and Balnoor, and they will be speaking here shortly after me. Now, it was mentioned before by Arai that I am the English Language Fellow. I'm here at Nur Sultan, and if you guys need to ever contact me, if you ever have questions, if you ever want to know more about opportunities for professional development, for possible exchange programs, whether it's for your own learners or for yourself as a professional, feel free to contact me via email, august.garnsey@gmail.com, or to follow me to Instagram at august.garnsey, where I advertise a lot of my events and webinars and other opportunities that I have for the great people of Kazakhstan. Now, as the fellow, I get to have a very cool job. I got one of the best jobs in the world, and I love it. I get to partner with Eurasian National University, Nur Sultan. I teach for the 2 foreign languages discipline. I teach bachelor's students and also master's students. And last week featured a lot of my many talented master's students at Eurasian National University. In addition to my teachings there, I work with the English Access Program. I get to engage a lot of different teenagers all across Kazakhstan through that program, as well as the many great opportunities through the American Corners network in Kazakhstan. For instance, if you're locally in Nur Sultan, not everybody's in Nur Sultan, but if you guys are here locally, come join me Saturday afternoons at the corner, 2:30 p.m. for Speak Up. Now, in addition to the different types of lessons that I teach, I also do teacher trainings. For instance, I just finished up with my partnership with the Nur Sultan Education Department. For those that are part of my training group from Nur Sultan, a little shout out, hey guys, if you're joining, what's up? And for those from last year with my partnership with the Karaganda Education Department, if you guys are there, hey, I appreciate it. Hope you guys are doing great. I miss you guys. And for all the many different schools and places that I visited across Kazakhstan, for those of you that are joining from some of my visits, it's great. Thank you for the support. And before I was a fellow, I actually used to live in Kazakhstan. I worked for Nish there as an English teacher. So for those of us that are from Kazakhstan, hey, what's up? So, all right, guys. So that's about me there. Again, reach out to me if you have questions. I am a resource for all of you in Kazakhstan. Now, important, survey for participation attendance credit. Guys, everyone, all of you must complete the short survey for attendance credit. And it's gonna be towards the end of the webinar. So not right now, but towards the end, we'll let you know exactly when that link is going to be available. Just need some basic information like your name and contact info, as well as a little bit of some feedback from you guys on your experience. Now, again, you do need to attend at least 3 of the sessions, webinars for that certificate with those professional development hours. And that link, again, will be in the chat towards the end of this webinar. And there's also going to be a QR code available for you to scan if you have that functionality on your phone. So let's start with a little poll on our leadership perspective. If you have never used Mentimeter.com, I really encourage you guys to use Mentimeter.com. It's a great tool for you to be able to create interactive, engaging slides. So whether it's professionally or for academic purposes, it's great. You can find a way to use it in many different ways. I'm going to show you a demonstration here tonight through our poll. So participants, you guys all right now will go to menti.com. Okay, so menti.com, and you're going to use the code on the screen, 6309 1255. Okay, so 6309 1255. I'll put that code back into the chat, but I'm going to flip over to my presentation screen for the Mentimeter poll. Okay, maybe Orai, can you go and put the code into the chat for the participants?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Do you see the donut on the screen?
Yeah.
All right, great. So guys, go ahead. I'm seeing some of you already responding. Don't be shy. We got a huge group tonight. So again, please, everybody, you're going to go to menti.com and you're going to type in the 8-digit code that you can find in the chat. Okay. You can also see the code on the screen, 6309 1255. You can see the top of my screen here. Okay. I'll give you guys about 30 more seconds or so to get in your responses. You don't need to create an account. You just go to menti.com, type in that code, and you can go ahead and provide your response. Pretty straightforward question, but maybe it's a little difficult to define potentially. Do you consider yourself to be a teacher leader? Okay, you got 3 options, either yes or no, or maybe you're not sure what a teacher leader is. Okay. All right, the numbers are rising. We got over 50 responses now. About a third of us have responded. I appreciate that. Go ahead and get in your results here. I'm already seeing the donut is leaning in a certain direction here, it looks like, towards the yes part, which is fantastic. Okay. All right. Okay. So based on the results here, what do I see here collectively amongst all of us is that, you know, a big portion of us, you know, we do consider ourselves to be a teacher leader, which is phenomenal. That's fantastic. Of course, you guys are here dedicating your time to this webinar on a busy Thursday evening, you know, so obviously you guys are very proactive. You know, this is always a terrific group, always joining me for every webinar. And about a third of you, though, maybe you're not quite sure. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but you're not quite sure about it. And so hopefully throughout the ideas and information provided tonight, you're going to either find new ways to make sure that you are being proactive, engaging others as a teacher leader, or maybe you're going to be able to refine or add more to what you can do as a teacher leader. And so that's the hope here tonight. But so thank you everybody for your participation with that survey using Mentimeter.com. All right. So I'm going to go back to my other presentation here. Okay. So guys, here's a quote for you. I just want to hear a little bit from each other about what does this quote mean to you? And you can use the chat again. We've muted everybody here tonight because we have a huge group tonight, but we want you to be very active. As Arai mentioned beginning, please guys use the chat right now. The quote, a teacher leader thinks beyond the walls of their classroom to what their impact can be. Give you guys a moment to kind of respond here to that. And I'll take a look here at the chat. Looks like I see things popping into the chat now. I love an active chat. It's fantastic. All right. Let's see here. Some of the ideas here. I see a lot of introductions going into the chat here. All right, guys. So again, the quote, a teacher leader thinks beyond the walls of their classroom to what their impact can be. What does that mean to you? Go ahead and type it into the chat. Doesn't need to be a long response. Maybe just something short, maybe just something that, some kind of maybe word or phrase that comes to your mind, what that means to you. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm looking here. I see a few things mixed in between all the introductions. I'm glad to see the engagement going on there. All of us, you know, we are the largest family in Kazakhstan. The English teaching community is the hugest family in Kazakhstan. And it's nice to see all you guys putting your name and contact information. Is fantastic. I see here we got being a teacher is not just a job, it is a life. Excellent. All right. The teacher can solve any situation in the classroom. A teacher leader uses all methods to reach the goal, make students speak language. We are responsible for our students' souls. I love that, Elena, thank you. That's fantastic, I love that one. I just love to teach and work with children. Okay. The leader teacher is the one who thinks about not just giving knowledge in classroom, but everywhere. Okay. Okay, excellent. Being teacher is a passion. Okay, maybe a couple more. We'll take a look. We appreciate everything. Keep the comments coming, guys. So I'll check them out here as we go along too. Keep them coming. Fantastic. These are great, guys. About seeing students' potential. Thank you for sharing all of that. I mean, all of this is correct in some way, shape, or form about what does this mean about going beyond your walls. Again, being an educator, it's an amazing thing. Being a teacher leader is an even more incredible thing about the type of impact you can have, whether you've realized it or not. You're all a very talented group of individuals, and maybe some of you haven't realized yet what you can do beyond your classroom walls, not just engaging, you know, your students, going beyond that, maybe not even just your colleague students or your school, but outside of your school, within your learning community. We'll talk about this a little bit more throughout the evening tonight. Now I'm going to kind of move forward here from that one, but thank you again, everybody, for those comments in the chat. Okay. So here's one way that I like to just kind of put a teacher leader. And again, a lot of us have some kind of an idea already of, you know, what is a teacher leader? So here's kind of, if you're looking for kind of terms or words, how I can kind of identify or recognize this. This is all very important. If you took out some of this, to me, be kind of incomplete. So a teacher leader is a leader, a coach, but also a connector, a mentor, and an observer. A lot of us potentially lead and we coach, but sometimes we are not always the connector that we should be and need to be within our learning communities, okay? And sometimes for going above and beyond with mentoring outside of kind of maybe our immediate workplace, and what we can do for others in the learning community, as well as just being able to observe and learn again and gain new knowledge and skills to improve our leadership qualities and capabilities is very important. So to me, this is the complete picture of, to me, what a teacher leader is. Now, here's also some other definitions about being a teacher leader. And for instance, you guys probably recognize this gentleman here. He's internationally recognized, Mr. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, now in a more general sense on leadership, he says that everyone can be a leader. Furthermore, leadership is the ability to inspire a team to achieve a certain goal. Whatever that team is, guys, that's the thing that you need to understand about going beyond your walls, as that previous quote mentioned. A team can be 3, it can be 300 people, it can be a group of students, it can be a group of colleagues, a group of educators, it can just be a group of adults within our communities locally. Now, a little more specific to teacher leadership from York Bar and Duke. Teacher leadership is the process by which teachers individually or collectively influence their colleagues, principals, and other members of the school communities to improve teaching and learning practices within the aim of increased student learning and achievement, okay? So again, that's focused a little bit more, within the school, but going beyond, your classroom, okay? Now, to me, if you're breaking all the walls, okay, if you're thinking about how can I have a greater impact? Okay, what can I do as an educator? To me, educators who simultaneously take on administrative and or also a non-positional facilitator role outside of their classroom for the greater good of the community or education system. Now, this is really important here, the non-positional facilitator role. I'm going to talk about that here right now in the next slide about what does this mean? Just be clear about what does non-positional mean. Now, non-positional is leadership that is about just character, behavior, and attitude. It means leadership without a title. Okay, of course, we have lead teachers, head teachers, department head teachers. We have vice principals that oversee groups of faculty. So there are those with titles, but again, I'm focused here specifically on without titles, non-positional leadership. And maybe this can kind of help give you a little better picture about, for those of you, about a third of you from that poll, we're not maybe sure if you were a teacher or leader. I think this kind of diagram is the greatest way for you to know whether you are a teacher or leader or not. And I like to focus kind of first on being an initiator, because the importance about being an initiator is that if you don't have the knowledge or the current skill at that moment to have that impact you want outside of your classroom, you can be able to gain and gather and get that knowledge. And then once you become more knowledgeable, well, then you can become, of course, a better modeler of this behavior, of these actions, of these practices, a greater supporter to others, other students, other faculty, teachers, other adults, and you can be much more informed, of course. And when you're much more informed, that just makes the whole process work a little bit better. So to me, I like this diagram. I think to me, this is kind of, if you're wondering again, are you a teacher or leader or not, take a look at this and see where you're at or your flow compared to this diagram. Now, I kind of want to wrap up here, so as I can get to my next speaker. I just want to just mention a little bit now. I think I'll have some time at the end of this webinar to kind of come back to talk about English conversation clubs. As you can just kind of look around these pictures here on my screen, you can really see a wide range of different types of discussion clubs, conversation clubs I've had around Kazakhstan, from younger learners to adults. Sometimes they're teachers, sometimes they're not teachers, okay? So it's a really wide-ranging group. Of course, what is the purpose of conversation clubs? Of course, is to practice English language learning and skills, but of course, to facilitate better critical thinking, more cognitive skill development, to become better informed citizens, adults, to be able to network, to be able to communicate and share ideas and knowledge across a wide range of individuals. That just helps to facilitate collaboration and partnership. And what do they look like? Well, I mean, there's no really kind of stereotypical look of a conversation club because they come in all ways, shapes, and forms. And you can see that from my pictures. So now I'm going to come back to conversation clubs at the end because I have a bunch of ideas and resources that I want to share with everybody here tonight. Now, I want to give an opportunity to my next guest speaker here, Ide Etula, who is a amazing individual, a great professional, and a friend of mine that I've met this year during my time in Kazakhstan. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to, as I like to call him, and as he likes to say, Ide. So Ide, it's all yours, man.
Hi, hello. So thank you for the introduction, August. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ide, we can hear you.
And what about the slides? Okay. So yeah. So thank you for having me today. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Ide Etula, and currently I am doing my PhD at Nazarbayev University, Graduate School of Education. And before joining this program, I worked as a teacher, vice principal, and school principal in 3 different regions in Kazakhstan. And right now, the topic that I am focusing on within my research is about school leadership and educational technology. So August told me that each presentation will take around 10-15 minutes. So I will try to finish my talk within that time. So today's webinar is about teacher leadership. But before coming to this topic, I think it's worth mentioning the definition of leadership and its different levels. So if we refer to the literature, it says that leadership is about shaping goals, motivations, or influencing teachers or school staff to realize the vision of the school. And generally, the educational leadership can be considered within 3 levels, as you see on your screen. So the first level is teacher level leadership, which is the main topic that we are discussing today. And this is the leadership at a school, at a classroom level. And the second one is school level leadership. This is the type of leadership that is mostly practiced by school principals and administrators. And the third level is a system level leadership. It mainly relates to educational departments, Ministry of Education, that are in charge of systematic changes that are happening in our education system. Now, in my slides, I will talk more about teacher level leadership and school level leadership. So here I will give a definition for teacher leadership. Actually, August has already mentioned about it, but I would like to repeat it one more time. I like this definition. So it says that teacher leadership is the process by which teachers individually or collectively influence their colleagues, principals, and other members of the school communities to improve teaching and learning practices with the aim of increased student learning and achievement. We know that teacher leaders assume a wide range of roles to support school and student success. So whether these roles are assigned formally or informally, they build the school's capacity to improve. And now I will be talking about some roles of teachers that might help them to serve as leaders among their peers. So the first, I think a teacher leader should be a resource provider. We all know that classroom or teaching resources takes a significant place in our work progress. In this case, I think it's worthwhile for teacher leaders to share their instructional resources with their colleagues. This might include some electronic material, website links, readings or lesson plans and other assessment tools, so that other teachers can benefit from the resources that you are using. And second one, teacher leaders should be instruction specialists. Here, instruction specialists help colleagues implement effective teaching strategies. So this might be planning your lessons with your fellow teachers, and you can discuss different instructional methodologies that are appropriate for your classroom teaching. So it means that you are supporting your colleagues or other teachers intellectually, okay? And the third one is the school leader. So sometimes there is no need for teachers to be vice principals or hold other higher formal positions to take responsibility, because teacher leaders might be in charge of organizing activities of school level. So they might lead committee or introduce their schools in other places like conference, forums, and so on. So it means that they are informally doing the part of functions of other vice principals or principals, okay? And the last one is catalyst for change. I think it is one of the most important elements for teacher leadership. Here, teacher leaders can also be a catalyst for change. As long as you are gaining more and more experience, you start to come up with new ideas, yes? And you start to pose interesting questions during your faculty meetings. And you are trying to make a change which leads to positive results within your school system. So I think for now it's enough about teacher leadership, since my other colleagues are also going to talk about it. Now, I would like to briefly mention a few things about school level leadership in the context of technology integration process. So briefly about technology integration, I think there is no doubt, especially due to the current pandemic situation, we all know that the role of technology or other digital platforms is increasingly important in education. And here we can see on this slide some factors that are influencing technology integration. They are the availability of resources and infrastructure, teachers' ICT knowledge, sufficiency of time, attitudes and beliefs toward technology, technical support, administrative or institutional support, and ongoing professional training. Now, in order for this teachers' technology integration to be successful, school leadership, school principals, should focus on these 5 dimensions of leadership. So the first one is establishing a vision. This is the first dimension of a school level leadership, okay? So here it is suggested that the school principals need to set clear goals and establish a vision for their teachers, so that all school members have a shared vision and act towards the same direction, okay? And the second one is systematic improvement. It means that leaders should regularly monitor or evaluate the ongoing process to make sure that all decisions and changes are affecting students' performance positively. And the third one is providing technological and infrastructural support. This is the accessibility of appropriate infrastructure and technology tools, which is a key component of successful ICT integration. And the fourth one is connecting with external stakeholders. Okay, here principals should build effective partnership with parents or other stakeholders to get their support. And the last one, developing a professional capacity and a collaborative culture at the school. So here principals should ensure that all involved parties are sufficiently trained. Okay, so which means that they are getting their professional development courses on time. Briefly, this is about a school leadership practices for teachers' technology integration. With my presentation, I've tried to explain briefly about the teacher level leadership and some aspects of school level leadership. Okay. So thank you for your time, for your listening. If you have any questions, you can visit this website. This is my personal website, www.idayatullah.com. So the website is available in both English and in Kazakh language. So thank you, August.
Thank you, Idayatullah. I appreciate that. Thank you for that great information about school technology leadership. And that's a really, really important aspect. And it's great to see, through your research that you're doing currently focused on that, which can be very impactful, obviously, definitely throughout Kazakhstan. Now, again, thank you again for that presentation, and for our participants. If you have follow-up questions for Idayatullah, you can again contact him through his site again, and we'll put that one into the chat later on again, potential for those that may come late as well. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our next invited co-speaker. Now let's see here, Janat. Yeah, I do see you, Janat. All right. So Janat, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thanks. Thank you, Janat. So next co-speaker. So Janat, it's going to be all yours.
Thank you. First, let me introduce myself, and especially the parts that will be relevant to the presentation. My name is Janat. I am a director of Bilimbernia Foundation. It's a non-profit, non-governmental organization based in Aktau. I'm also from Aktau, and maybe I can see some familiar names. Maybe some of you have attended our trainings. So I worked for some time at higher education in different leadership roles. I worked at Yesenov University. It's a regional university in Aktau, in Mangostau region. I was a department chair, and at some point I was an acting dean. So I know how leadership works within the system of higher education, and the obstacles that we have in higher education and even in secondary education for teachers to kind of be empowered and do some meaningful leadership. I'm going to start my presentation, and today I would like to talk to you about, in just a moment, you will see the name of the presentation. All right, so today I would like to talk to you about planning your PD strategically. First, I would like to ask, what is PD? Could you write in the chat what PD stands for? It should be quite familiar to most of you. So I'm gonna wait for some of you to guess what is PD. All right, Shulpan got it just right. Yeah, everybody's getting it right. Of course, PD is professional development. And I think that professional development is an important aspect of leadership. And most of you are already doing it. For example, by attending this webinar, you are doing professional development. And I know that you're required by your institutions to complete certain types of professional development. But can you also please write in the chat what kind of professional development opportunities are there for English teachers? You know, like the ones that really affect your teaching skills and maybe even your salary. Let me give you a couple of examples. For example, CELTA. Have you ever heard of CELTA? Yeah, CELTA is a certificate of English teaching to adults. Yeah, TESOL, I see. Okay, more TEFT, great. Yeah, TKT is another great one. We have even TKT CLIL. Great. So today I'm going to share with you two tools that have really helped me in my positions, both as a teacher and as a leader. And I'm going to share with you at the end a very great opportunity, professional development opportunity available for you for free. All right. So the first thing I would like to share with you is what I personally found really important in both my in my career in general is reflecting. If you are doing a lot of things, like you are working, you are constantly developing, even doing research, policy analysis, but if you don't take some time to reflect, unfortunately, those million things that you're doing might not be as helpful. So, for example, I have two journals. I started with one, but now I have two journals that I reflect in every single day, actually twice a day. One is for personal thoughts and insights and goals and dreams, and one is for professional goals. So, and reflections. So I really, it changed my life, even though I was lazy at the beginning. But I do suggest you to start with these questions. Please take a photo and try, maybe spare some hour from your life, go to a coffee shop or sit in your office, and please take some time to reflect on these questions. They will really help you to kind of reflect on your career and to maybe think about where you want to go. So please take a screenshot, because these you will really like reflecting. It has a therapeutic effect. But to give you a taste of how it looks, how it feels actually to reflect, let's maybe take 1 or 2 minutes and try to answer these questions right now. Please, can you write in the chat, choose any of these questions, 6 or 7, and write a short answer. As I said, it has a very therapeutic effect. All right, so I hope you got the photo, and I'm gonna be waiting for your responses in the chat, but let me move on to the next thing I wanted to share with you. So as I mentioned, I was a department chair once, and I know that at the beginning of school year, teachers have their personal professional development plans, and they have a departmental professional development plan. But unfortunately, they are not always meaningful or strategic. Sometimes they are random or even whimsical, because because you have a very short time pressure. You have to do it in one, you have to plan your whole year in one day. I know the realities in our higher education system, so unfortunately this is usually how it happens. But here I want to suggest to you one way you can plan your personal professional development for 1 year. Here I'm showing you one example. And I think this will be a very useful example for you. So here's the table that I usually use to plan my professional development for a year or for 6 months. Here I want to show you example of increasing your visibility. I know that a lot of teachers are doing like side hustles, tutoring, or doing freelance job, or even if you're not, I think having a visibility as an English language teaching expert, ELT stands for English language teaching, I hope you all know, I think it's very important nowadays. And you should be working on that. No matter how secure your job is, having an expertise and visibility will really enrich your life. So, for example, if your goal is to increase your visibility as an expert, I suggest that you refine it to something more specific. I'm sure you all know about the SMART abbreviation for setting goals. So, for example, this could be developing a meaningful professional development plan for a school year that will improve your skills, your teaching skills, but also maybe research skills and policy analysis skills, and increase your visibility. So you refined your general goal, and then please think of some strategies of how you can do it. For example, American Corner and August's webinars are a great way to increase your visibility. August is really good at empowering and giving platform to teachers. So I'm sure you can reach out and maybe ask, if you have an idea for a presentation that aligns with his topics, you can ask him, and boom, like 200 people will know your name and maybe will get interested in what's in your presentation. Another strategy, for example, for this specific goal could be devising your own teaching materials. I'm sure that you all do that already, because students are different. We don't have materials that fits everybody. So in one way or another, every teacher devises, designs, or adapts some teaching materials. So keep doing that, but also share it. Sharing it with your colleagues, or even like open source, of course, mentioning your name will also increase your visibility. And for example, another strategy could be presenting at various events like this one. All right, so I think maybe you should also take the photo of this table and try to use it next time you plan your professional development. And maybe offer it to your department chair and see if it makes more sense. And the last thing I want to share with you is actually the best of my presentation, the best part of my presentation. Here I put a QR code for our Instagram account. As I said, Bilimdernie is a non-profit organization, and a lot of opportunities we have are free. So if you go to our Instagram, you will please find this announcement, this post. It's recent, so you'll easily find it. Here we're offering a 4-month-long program for teachers, where we teach them how to create effective online courses, English courses. Why? Because, as you know, for 2 years we've been working remotely or in a hybrid format. Even if the COVID-19 is gone, unfortunately, this mode of working, hybrid or online, will stay with us for a long time, forever maybe. So it will be very useful for you to learn how to create online courses. So this is an opportunity for you to learn it. We will teach you how to use different platforms to create attractive, engaging video lectures. What types of tasks are most suitable for online courses. We will use the instructional design model. I'm not going to stop and talk about it more, but for attendees of this webinar, you will see here actually that the deadline has passed for this opportunity, but for you, just today I opened the application, and we will take maybe 10 or 15 more people. This opportunity is only for you, so please, the application will be open till the end of this week. So please apply, and we will teach you how to create great, effective online courses. So I think my time is up, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to hear them and answer them. All right, so there's one more thing I would like you to do. Okay, so these questions, if you decide to take the time and change your life and answer these questions, and if you make a social media post, like kind of putting these answers to these questions as a story, if you make a post and if you mention Bilim Bernie, our organization, we will read it, and we will give you another prize. Educational, very useful prize, maybe a book or something. So I'll be waiting for your responses. You can do that as well. Okay, thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Janat. That was a fabulous presentation with opportunities within opportunities. Hey, it pays to be joining us here on Thursday evenings, right? So lots of opportunities for the online course development. That's a fantastic opportunity. And with the registration being reopened again, especially for us tonight, a great opportunity. So thank you, Janat, for offering that. And I'm really glad you mentioned about, going back about reflection, and that being an important time for professional development, because a lot of times we're focused as educators, just like on the lessons itself sometimes, and we're very results or goal oriented about the what happened with our students, and we don't use that time sometimes to think about professional development. But it is an opportunity to think about how we can become better professionals, and therefore ultimately become better potential teacher leaders as well in our communities. So that's fantastic. So thanks for bringing up that point. All right, guys. So we do have one more invited co-speaker as well to join, Balnor. She is one of my many talented university students at Eurasian National University, and also one of my co-leads for my clubs that I run at the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Balnor now. Balnor, so it's going to be all yours.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, once more. It's great to see you all here. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, loud and clear. We're good.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So I had like a little bit of a technical problem, so I've asked like Arai to share the presentation for me. But now here I'm not presenting everything like an English teacher. I'm here to present my presentation as a pre-service English language teacher. So I have a lot to learn more. So I want to talk about how can we develop leadership while volunteering. So volunteering is one of the most popular trends nowadays. I hope that it continues being a trend. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Balnor once more, and I study at Eurasian National University. I'm a second-year student. I studied 2 foreign languages, English and Chinese languages, and hopefully in the future I'll become an English language teacher. And I also volunteer at American Corner, as Mr. August said. We together run. No, back to the first one, please. Yeah. So as Mr. August said, me and Mr. August, we have a discussion club every Saturday. So you can come and develop your English skills if you're in Nur Sultan. And also, I am Flex alumnus of 2019. That is an exchange program for all the school students. And I'm also an alumni of BUBW conference in Washington, D.C. while I was in United States, of course. And I've stayed in Michigan while I was studying in the United States. And after becoming Flex alumni, I applied for many opportunities, and I was selected as one of the finalists of Central Asian Flexibility Workshop, and now I'm alumni of 2019 in Kyrgyzstan, in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. So I have like a little bit of a background and how these programs, these opportunities helped me develop my leadership skills. And now I want to talk about a little about Flex program. So what is it and how it can develop your students or your leadership skills? Next slide. Okay, so first of all, some of you might know about the Flex program. It provides scholarship for high school students from Europe and Eurasia, so that counts us too, to spend an academic year in the United States, living with American family and attending an American high school. So every year, 35,000 students apply for Flex. So that's school students, not university students. So unfortunately, if you're a teacher and you can provide this kind of opportunities for your school students, because it's a great opportunity. Before Flex program, I wasn't like this. I wasn't talkative at all, especially in English. I was very shy girl. I didn't know any opportunities about. And I didn't even think of and dreamed about being a student of Eurasian National University in this sphere in teaching. So here are some information you would like you wanted to see. So if you have some time, definitely search for Flex, and that's a great opportunity for your students if you want to make them more. It's like future. If you want to make your students future leaders. In the next slides, you can see. So this is me, and I mean, like Flex program is not just a program that sends you into the United States and spend 1 year. After finishing Flex program, I had lots of opportunities. I have now many friends from all over the Kazakhstan and all over the world, and they send me lots of opportunities to develop my skills, any kind of skills, self-development skills, or teaching skills, or debating skills. And Flex program taught me how to volunteer, actually. So in the next slide, you can see I have volunteered for 100 hours in the United States. So that was one of the most outstanding achievement of mine. And here in the picture, you can see this was in Almaty, and we've collected more than 10 kilograms of trash in the cities, in the streets of Almaty. Also, after finishing Flex, and now I'm seeking for new opportunities, how to volunteer, and it also gives you more. It gives you the opportunity of networking with other people, and it gives you opportunity how to make proud of yourself. So now, I'm really proud of myself, because I was part of many volunteering opportunities. So in the next slides, I've put some more pictures of United States when I was in the United States. So it's like a great opportunity for everyone. So for every student to become more flexible, as I say. And also, it's not the only opportunity that you can get. So it's just like for students, but if you help your student prepare for this program, it's like it's a huge opportunity for you too. In the next slide, I've put a picture of, so once more, next slide, please. So here, now I want to talk about a discussion club, which I totally volunteer at American Corner. So here's a group of people. We usually get each week up to 70 people, and it's amazing. It's crazy because so many people want to enhance their English level. And also, while I was volunteering there, I've met so many people from different universities, from different areas of professionals. So it's just like some of the opportunities for you to show how great leader you are. And the other opportunities are like create your own discussion clubs, create your own speaking clubs, or debating tournaments, because it's like debating is one of the most popular things right now going on. And while giving some opportunities for your students to be a leader, it's a great opportunity for you because you're making one of the students' stars shine bright. And that's it for me.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Balnor, for the inspiration for us all. I guess, it's nice, to have, when you're thinking about teacher leaders from different perspectives, whether it's pre-service English teachers or in-service English teachers, I guess.
I wanted to say that it's never too late for any pre-service English teachers to seek international collaboration experiences locally in Kazakhstan too. And it's like some of the opportunities I got during the past years, and I'm also applying for academic mobility in Eurasian National University. It's like another opportunity for me to develop my leadership skills, my communicative skills, and it's never too late for any of them, for the pre-service or in-service, for any kind of teachers in Kazakhstan.
Great point, Balnor. Yes, I mean, we have amongst our many participants tonight, we have many pre-service English language teaching professionals. And one thing to keep in mind about being a teacher leader, and again, it's non-positional. You don't have to have a title of a leader. And each and every one of us here tonight, we have a very important skill set, and that's our ability to use English language for communication, for collaboration, for helping others to develop as well their own English language abilities, for whether it's for other future academic or professional opportunities. So each and every one of us has this ability to be able to volunteer in the community and provide that kind of leadership. And as Balnor mentioned about potentially maybe joining a club or helping to co-lead or help to facilitate other types of learning opportunities. There's many different American corners across Kazakhstan in different regions. You guys can go to your American corners, if there's one in your city where you're located, to seek out ways that you can get involved. Again, if you're a first year, second, a third year, fourth year pre-service English teacher, guys, there's things that you can do as well as being a teacher leader. Now, we're just about ready to wrap up, guys, here. There's a couple things that I wanted to do and share. One was I mentioned earlier about some resources for you guys that are interested in potentially establishing or helping to kind of maybe even bring back to life some existing English conversation clubs. I'm just going to show you, and I'm going to provide these links into the chat as well. And my PowerPoint, I will make it available as well for everybody. But let me just go back and just share that one for just a moment. Okay. So some of the types of activities, and now Balnor mentioned about our group called Speak Up. They're in Nur Sultan. But again, for those of you that, whether it's a conversation club for your school, or also, again, this isn't just for students or young learners. This is for even potentially adults or professionals of different areas or disciplines within our society. And the types of activities that I've used that have been very effective, definitely interactive poll-based discussions. I showed you Mentimeter, Poll Everywhere is another great way. So if you're looking to, maybe kind of start up or kind of bring back to life potential or change up some things within your existing discussion club that you may have at your school or institution, or one that you run or conduct maybe just locally within the community for adults. I also like to focus on small group projects and creative tasks. Often I like them to make physical or digital poster designs using maybe Canva, if you do have potentially some laptops or that kind of technology available to you. And I always have them create these visual creations with always providing an oral presentation. I always encourage them to contextualize things to make it more meaningful to Kazakhstan. Some of the ideas for some of these group projects, have been to create like a time capsule or like a hypothetical type of time box for future generations in Kazakhstan. Like, what items would you put into that time box right now, bury it for others 50 years from now in Kazakhstan to find? And it's always a great type of discussion project. I've had them make tours of Kazakhstan, different regions, different places. If you were leading a group of foreigners, what would you say? How would you help them? Creating charitable organizations to help maybe a certain group of people in Kazakhstan. I've had them come up with school designs for Kazakhstan, even utopian like cities within Kazakhstan. So a lot of different types of ideas that you can do within your discussion clubs. I do speed networking, or I just like to have intensive time-based interviewing type of activities. Role plays are always great. Gaming is wonderful. I love Jeopardy. If you're not familiar with Jeopardy, you can always Google and you can find a lot of ideas for Jeopardy and debates. So these are a lot of the things that I like to do in my different types of clubs that I do run or do, whether it's online or offline across Kazakhstan. If you guys are looking for a place to get started, I really recommend you guys to take a look at American English. So, and I'll put this link into the chat, or actually, all right, can you go and put this link into the chat right now? The americanenglish.state.gov. So the americanenglish.state.gov. They have so many resources for you guys. If you guys are looking to jumpstart a conversation club, there's a 200-page how-to guide for creating a sustainable English club. This is the cover of what it looks like. This is absolutely an amazing resource that actually is very unknown to a lot of people around the world. I highly recommend you guys to download this free how-to book. It will cover everything from setting things up to organizing to even ideas as well. Or if you're interested, maybe a book club, there's articles and webinars for how to start up or run a sustainable book club, potentially maybe other ways if you want to focus on young learners. There's a lot of different resources here for you guys through the americanenglish.state.gov website. So I really recommend you guys to take a look at that one. I will go ahead and put my PowerPoint with these links into the chat right now for you guys. Now, one last thing of business too, regarding the participation for your attendance credit. All right, if you can put this link into the chat. So this is the survey. Again, guys, put your name, contact information, and a little bit of some feedback. The link will be open and available for 24 hours. I'll cut it off tomorrow. So please, guys, go ahead and complete that survey. You can scan the QR code to get access to that one, or you can click the link in the chat, okay? Again, so that is for the survey for your attendance credit towards your certificates for your professional development hours. I know you guys are all really want that one again, so take a look at that one. Now, the last thing I would like for all of us to do is Willis to be able to take a picture of our family or our group, because we have, at one point, we're nearing almost 200 people. We have a huge group tonight, an amazing crowd across Kazakhstan from all different regions. Okay, while we get set up, I'll go and share some of those links into the chat, such as also as my PowerPoint. Okay, all right. And again, that survey link is in the chat, guys. Do complete that survey as well at a point. All right, maybe you can go ahead and take the photo for us, or at least maybe a few, because we have multiple pages. Our gallery is bursting at the seams here. So guys, get ready to smile and pose for the camera. Give your thumbs up if you love American Corners, if you love professional development, if you love what you do as a teacher and being a teacher leader or an aspiring to be teacher leader, thumbs up.
Great. Thank you.
All right, guys. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put in, again, if you guys ever have follow-up questions, please feel free to follow up for us here. I'm just looking here for my file. Let's see here. Okay. Corners. Okay. Here we go. Okay, it's uploading. Sorry, guys. So my PowerPoint with all those resources, with all the links that you need, it is in the chat right now, guys. So feel free to download that. I want to thank all of our co-speakers tonight again. Again, Balnoor, Janat, Idiatullah, and Arai with the American Corner here in Nur Sultan. Thank you all the amazing teachers joining us tonight. You guys don't get enough credit for what you do across Kazakhstan, but I recognize it. We're the best family in Kazakhstan. I love my Thursday nights. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you next week, Thursday. Please register for the next webinar on the 21st. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. See you.